Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another YouTube video, Sisterly Conversations, where we will be picking a topic.
And our topic today is, do you have any experience? So this is actually a kind of like a three-way question topic. Yep. We didn't come up with the topic, so this was a topic that was asked or given. So, um, this topic says, do you have any experience of mechanics taking advantage of your lack of knowledge of vehicles because you are a woman? So, what I would say is let's answer that one first, and then we'll continue to the next topic. So, go ahead, Tones.
Okay, so for me, I think that I have been taken advantage of by some mechanics while living here in Canada. I remember I was overcharged for one little thing, but with time, you get to meet people, and people will tell you, you know, you might need to take a guy with you um, in order for the mechanic will be able not to hit you so hard, basically. So sometimes what I would do, I would call my dad, and he would speak to the mechanic. I know that my sister's boyfriend is here. He will come with me so that we can get stuff done and won't get hit too hard. Cause I remembered very recently we had to do something with the car. The guy said to me, "Oh, it's $400." The moment my sister's boyfriend was stood next to me, he said, "Okay, I'll do it for 200." Right? So the thing is, to me, it's better to have a meal with you when you are going to get those stuff done. Cause they really hit us hard, we women hard, cause we know nothing basically. We know to do is to drive the car, and that's it.
Yeah, I agree with Tony too. What I would say though, most women, because there's
Most women,
actually
yeah.
some women that are actually good in mechanics and they have a lot of knowledge and information about it. Good for you, women. I think we also should probably have some basic knowledge of certain things in mechanics, but most of the time we really don't have the time to. We're also busy with our lives and stuff. And of course, you can go to uh, the College of Google and the University of YouTube. I hear to listen to the University of YouTube today, so now I got adopt that say to learn stuff. I actually learned a lot of stuff where it relates to my vehicle on YouTube, because even putting in gas, I remember the first time I wanted to put in gas, I went on YouTube. Um, Not that I wasn't showed before how to put in gas, but like when you have somebody driving a car or whatever, you don't really be paying attention. So when it got to the point now where I was actually living by myself and I was driving and I had to like figure out things, and I obviously now you have no choice but to pay attention to what you're doing. So I ended up um, going and watching YouTube. But yeah, I agree with my sister, because I believe there are a lot of mechanics that love to take advantage of you especially when you're by yourself, because they assume that you don't know what you're doing, and they just hit you for sex with these prices. And sometimes, even though you might not necessarily know what's going on, I think you have to kind of use a bit of common sense too, because if somebody charge you something, and again, this is where Google comes in too, right? Like if somebody charge you an exorbitant price for things, and even if it's not necessarily an exorbitant price, it might be their natural prices, but it's so like it's too much. Sometimes you gotta use common sense. And like Tony said, we, even though our dad doesn't live with us, we call and ask him his opinion, even though the prices may be different in Barbados compared to in Canada, but at least it should still be something of a wrong figure where you could you know still make sense out of nonsense.
Nonsense.
And I remember even recently we wanted to go for a key, another additional key for the car because I only had one, and because Tony obviously whenever she's driving, like not only that, like if we lost the key or anything happens, and we wanted, I mean this is not a mechanic per se, but we did go to Honda to to get our key, and the price was exorbitant. It was a very high price for a key. And some people just like to take advantage. Some people like, what's the word called? Inflation, pretty much. So, yeah, it's always good to talk to a guy. It's always good to have a guy around. But if you don't have a guy around, because there are things like I said when I lived here by myself, or me and Tony lived by ourselves at some points too, um, and you don't have that meal figure. I remember another time too. There was something going on with my car. I cannot remember exactly what it was, and I had to call a male friend, and he lived like about 45 minutes away or whatever, and I had to call him, and he came down and he checked it out. And then we went to get some parts or whatever for the car. Sometimes we got neighbors as well, male neighbors, and they're very keen to try to figure out, certain things as well with the vehicle. So, because when people see that, you're two ladies living by yourself or whatever, the meals are going to be more things to help you out or whatever. So, yeah, but it's always good to have that male perspective. So, the next question is, do you think women should educate themselves about mechanics,
Yeah,
or
we
should
just spoke about
should
that.
they take a man to the mechanics? And we just basically spoke about that. So I don't know if Tony have anything else to say.
I wanted to say to even going back to Shanita's when Shanita was talking about the key, cause while I was there, cause she wasn't there, she had to work, and while I was there at the key company, um, the guy gave us the exorbitant price, and then somebody else came to us and actually told my sister's boyfriend what to actually do for cheaper, So again, people, that's why I keep saying you must have a meal with you. I don't care how much education you could do, because it's one thing to be educated about something is if you're interested in it. If you're interested in it now, that's when you're okay. But if you just educating yourself and then saying, oh man, ain't every day the car gonna go bad, or ain't every day something gonna mash up or something, ain't gonna really keep in your head. But you find meals like cars, meals like to pick down and pick back up and all kind of things. So for me, if I'm interested in something, then yeah, I can pick at it. But if I just doing it for just doing it sake, and I don't really have a real reason to do that, then you know, get the man one time.
Yeah, and I have to say, like Tony was saying also, like there are gonna be people and other people. They're genuinely gonna be people that are gonna be willing to help you out
Hmm.
because people recognize times that are hard, and you know people know, is a struggle and different things like that. So people are good. Some people genuinely try to help you out. They may charge you, for example, you have, and it also depends on the places, and that's why, as with everything else, like for example, when you go to the supermarket, you shop around to see who have the best prices and what might be on sale at this place might not be on sale at the other place or whatever, and you kind of shop to get the best prices. Sometimes you gotta shop around. Sometimes you might have to call more than one person. That's when he spoke about um when she wanted to get the the hearing, I think it was, or whatever fixed. We had to She had to call around to find out who had the best price, because as she said, somebody tried to charge $400 or something like that for something that somebody else charged 100 and something dollars for,
Right.
or even less. I think it was less actually than 100 and something dollars. So I mean, it doesn't make sense when it's the same issue, but yet you have one person doing the most and the other person doing the least, or at least trying not to hit you so hard. So
Right.
um, that's why it's also important to talk to people and also make sure you're getting the best that you could get for the most affordable price.
Right.
Not saying that you have to be cheap, right? Because you pay for what you want. You pay for the good service or whatever. At the same time, it has to make sense.
But another thing I wanted to say too, I met years ago, my mom and we were driving home from church one Sabbath, and the car broke down, and the Lord sent this guy to come and help us, and he was a mechanic as well by trade, and he was telling us, like, he pushes his daughter to learn about a car because he knows how it is as a mechanic, because he was telling us how he might see he knows that a woman might come in with one problem while fixing the car. He realizes there's another problem, but he doesn't tell her about it. He just deals with what she wants, and then she will come back again and pay fresh money. So that's the trick in it. So that's why, yes, again, I believe you should educate yourself, but it's better to have a meal around. I think that's my major
Yeah,
point.
yeah. But I think the thing is, when you talk about they're like them finding one problem and then finding another problem, even with a meal around, you can't really avoid that because it's for them to tell you to be open and honest and say, okay, there's something going on, something else going on with the car, and then leaving the decision up to you now to say, okay, well, I can fix this right away, or you know what, I don't have enough money to fix this problem right now, but I will come back or whatever, because now you're putting the person in a position to know that there's additional issues, and even if the person might not have the money on them right away, they might be able to save up for it or something and come back or whatever. But not telling them, again, it comes down to integrity. Because when you regardless if something is gonna go wrong, it's gonna go wrong
True,
regardless.
true.
But at least if the person know, then it gives them the opportunity to possibly come back sooner than to have the problem get worse.
Right.
The issue now with having the good thing about having a male person is that they tend to hit you hard when you're a female, and that's the biggest thing, because if something has to be fixed, it has to be fixed. But at least if they see a male person, they assume the males will be more vocal about the issue. If they feel like it's overpriced, the males are gonna speak out more.
Mm-hmm.
And because obviously, as Tony said, they know, so it will be like a bell ringing in their head. This don't sound right.
Right.
Whereas us females, usually we don't have a clue. So if somebody tell us something, we be like, oh well, yes, because we don't really know, right?
Right.
So the last question is, how do you think women should handle mechanics who try to take advantage? I think we can dip into it, but Tony, wanna go?
I was so tell off the mechanic. To me, that's like, again, again, you don't really know how pricing goes. Thank God I have a friend who is a mechanics up here, so sometimes I might call him and I might say, alright, is this price a bit too much? Or whatever, and he would just let me know, well, alright, yeah, he hit you hard. Right? But I would say I would say familiarize yourself with certain things and always have a meal with you. Whether it is on the phone or if it is in person. But I prefer in person because when the person on the phone is like, you can't really negotiate. But when the person is in front of you, you could talk and have conversations and
Mm-hmm.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, and also for me personally, if I went to you and I feel like you took advantage of me, or if somebody taught me, oh, but he took advantage of you, clearly I ain't going back.
Right.
That you got the money once, good for you. But and it's funny because I had this conversation too with when it wasn't about mechanics, but we had to get something notarized. Well, not me. Tony had to get something notarized,
Hmm.
and we were looking up notaries, and we found this person that was literally right next to us, like somebody that lived in our
Neighborhood.
area, yeah.
Hmm.
And we went to the person, and come to find out the person hit her pretty hard. And I remember telling Tony, well, he hit you hard. No, you pay the money because whatever, but we ain't going back. So
And
that's
and
how
for
you does
sure.
that's how you does lose clients, because instead of trying to grab at everything you could, You build trust with the person. For me personally, I'm a loyal person in everything. So I tend to, when I say loyal, I mean I tend to, if I'm with somebody for something, I'll be with you for years. Like my phone company, I've been with them I've been in Canada for over 13 years or so.
Almost 13 years.
So I've been with that phone company from the time I arrived in Canada as an adult, because we used to live here as children too. But as an adult, when I was able to do whatever, I was with that phone company from since that time. So when I say loyal, I mean in terms of when when I come to you as a business person and I realize you give a good service or whatever, I'm not just gonna go to another person. I'll stick with you. Like for example, even my tax person, I've stuck with my tax person for, again, as long as I've been living here in Canada, right? So that's just how I am. If I find something that works, I'm not gonna change it unless I need to. For what?
Well,
So
I am the opposite because since I've been here, I had two phone companies. But the reason why I had to change is because they were offering a better deal. My
right,
sister is not like that.
right,
I would jump at the deal. I'm not one of those persons like I would say, well, I was with this particular company for all these years. I'm gonna just stick with them. No, I look for better deals. If better deals mean different company, then Tones will be doing it.
well, yeah. So everybody's different, but for me, that's what I'm saying. So if for me being that type of person, if I find that you do something to cross me, then it's a wrap,
Right.
because it's about building trust within the business than just trying to grab everything you could grab in terms of money. So yeah, so the same thing for the mechanics. If we find people that are affordable, not trying to jack our eye or whatever, then we stick to them. And if it's the opposite, then you won't get back another cent from us. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's all I have to see on that topic.
I just wanted to add to go back on what Shanita was talking about because I remembered when I did do that notary and that guy he doubled the price because after finding out what he was doing and I found somebody else that was paying half. I had to pay half or probably even more than half of the bill that I would have paid him before. And I never went back to read. I never called. I never text. I ain't do nothing. I ain't refer nothing because
And
that's how you get
that's
robbery.
another thing. That's another point Tony just made too. Referrals. So when you get good service from somebody, or you get affordable, all of that stuff, then you're more you tend to refer people to the same person because you get a good service.
Right.
So if a mechanic now is you know trying to help you out, not taking advantage, whatever, and you got a friend that might have either just came to the country or somebody that whatever, you could tell them, you know what, I know this mechanic that you could go to check them out.
Exactly.
It's the same thing with our immigration consultant. And I say our immigration, I'm a citizen and Tony's a PR, almost a citizen. But we still call him our immigration consultant because he's who we've been with for years. He's who we went through all of our immigration stuff with.
And we do
And
referrals
and
too
we
for him.
refer
Hmm.
anybody to him because he's that good, and also he was the type of person that was there for us right through, even. But this is not about the
Yeah.
immigration consultant.
But
But I just trying to
yeah.
show, like, when you have people that you can trust,
Right.
you tend now to
Refer.
refer people so that they could get the same treatment as well. You don't kind of keep them to yourself, because
Right.
it is what it is. But thank you for watching our video. We didn't expect this video to be so long, by the way,
Yeah.
because it's not a topic that is a very, like whatever, like popular type of topic. But it is an important topic, because a lot of people have to deal with this as
Yeah.
well. So
It's a big issue as it relates to women. So drop a comment in the comment section letting us know how you feel about our video today, and please continue to like
share.
and subscribe. Until next time, bye.